Hello and welcome if you're new here. I know I'm looking like very orange. This is an impromptu live. I just got in about an hour ago. That looks a little bit better. From my brother's funeral, my brother's mother's funeral on Thursday. And from there I went straight down to Academy. And that was the 13th. Today is the 16th. I'm home. I did videos while I was there. I showed a video of, and I'm just like super sweaty. I showed a video of what I took with me. And for now, we're going to reapply Fuchsia Flex Fenty Gloss Bomb because this is what I had on earlier with this look. And I know my eyeshadow is looking funky because I forgot that I had makeup on. And carrying up my bags and things from downstairs, I was super sweaty. And so I was rubbing my face and then I'm like, oh shoot, I got makeup on. So I'm going to do the intro real quick for those who will catch the replay. I call this, hey Heather, I just popped on. I just got in not too long ago, less than an hour ago. And so I said, let me just come on here and like show you guys what I used because I did upload a video of what I packed. And so I'm just going to do the intro real quick and I'll try and I will make it short. I just applied Fuchsia Flex. I had this on with this look earlier. So for those who are new or catching a replay and you're new, I call this the Crazy Troll Nation. The crazy just knowing it's okay to be your authentic self. And the troll part is not caring too much about what the beauty community's standards are. You set the standard for yourself. Wear whatever brand you want to, use whatever tools you want to, use whatever techniques you want to get your makeup on in a way that you are satisfied with it. That's what we stand for. Here is self-acceptance and self-love, embracing our natural features, enhancing them if we want to, when we want to, but never feeling like we have to. I do curse sometimes in videos and lives because I curse sometimes, period. Yes, we are in the same time. Oh, you are! Oh man, how does it feel to be back on the East Coast? So as I'm showing what I used as I unpack, I'm going to put it away. So we did take this and we used it. So I'm going to put that away. And I took, if you didn't see what I packed, you may, I don't know, you might still want to see it because everything was nice and pretty and laid out. And I keep dropping the same thing. And we did use our Esum brush book, and we also used one of the Esum storage cases. In the Esum Pro makeup kit bag, it has 3 of these, well 2 of these, and then there's 2 that's this size that Velcro in. And I do have a link for that below. It is an affiliated link through Shop My. And this is the brush book that when I purchased it, the whole kit was like almost 60% off, I want to say, at least 50% off. And this came free. This on its own, the brush book, is $60-something. And so it was an amazing deal. And I do use it as you see. And yeah. So let me see. I saw your comment, Heather. Hanging out with moms. Oh, you just reminded me of my brother. His mom's funeral was on the 13th, and I did go to that, and then I went straight down to Academy. So it was a very long day. Yeah, that is so cool. I'm torn about hanging with my mom because she has dementia and she doesn't even know I'm her daughter. And so I'm like, you know, when I visit her, she's just like staring at me, and then she'll look away and just kind of, you know, and I talk to her and things, but it's very difficult. And so I'm just like, do I serve a purpose being here kind of thing? You know what I mean? And she's staying with one of my aunts who's a nurse and another aunt who's a nurse. She goes over every day. So she has the best care possible. So I'm not, you know, worried or concerned. But it's just challenging, like, how often should I visit kind of thing? You know what I mean? So we're going to start with the makeup because that'll be quicker to put away. The other one has brushes in it and the eyeshadow palettes that I took. And so this is just other makeup. I do always use a fiber, let me slow down. I do always have a microfiber cloth on my station, and so I did take one with me. And I'm looking at it trying to see, is it even dirty? So we're just going to sit that aside for right now. And so I remember showing, I took, hey Ren, you popped on. I had no intentions on doing this today. I showed a video of what I was taking with me to the funeral, and then when I went straight to Academy, and I just got home a little over an hour ago, and I said, let me just come on and show like what I actually used, just as a motivation for you know, when some people, you know, pack to go away, but then they don't use what they pack. And so this is just me being accountable for like what I took. I took 4 of my lip liners, and I'm trying to separate them from the eyeliners. So these are the 4 lip liners I took. This is Nima Tang Chocolate Chip, which I wish they sold separate. This is NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. The color is Alien. It's a black. Y'all know I love a black lip. This one is also, all of these are NYX. This one just says NYX Lip Crayon, and the shade is Current. That's the color right there. And this one is NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner. They don't make the Suede Matte Lip Liners anymore. Now it's just the regular lip pencils. But this is Club Hopper, and that's the shade of that one. I did not use any of these. Not at all. Not a one. Not a one. And the lipsticks that I took, Heather, I did wear this one, the House Labs Rosewood Shine. I did use this, so that's going to go home. I took 2 glosses. Was it only 2 glosses? Maleficent from MAC. I did use that one. And I also did use the Nima Tang lip gloss, the Dose of Colors collab. The eyeliners, for some reason I feel like I had taken more eyeliners, but I'm not seeing them in here. So maybe this was it. I cannot tell you. I threw away the blue one. Thank you, Heather. Yeah, it is. And it, you know, I feel okay, and then something will happen, and I'll think about it, and then I'm just like, ugh. But thank you. We're trying to link up next week, but I know he's, you know, everywhere in his mind. So I'm giving him grace and patience, but we are trying to link up next week. So the blue one I had, I remember a while ago I said it was down to a nub, and I was using it very sparingly. I took it, I used it, it finished it, so that went in the trash, and so that didn't come home. I don't remember if I used the gold. These are NYX retractable suede, not NYX suede, oh my god. These are NYX retractable eyeliners. I don't remember if I used the gold. I did use aqua green. I do remember that. I did use the gray one. I do remember that. I don't remember if I used the purple. I want to say I did. Don't tell me I used all of these eyeliners. And so that's 5. I was only there. Hey Jamie, thanks for popping in. Yeah, I just came on and decided to do a live to unpack and show you guys what I used from what I showed you that I took. I know I did use glider dye. I used this on my inner rims. And this one I did not use, which is matte terracotta. I like this one when I'm doing a grungy look because it kind of makes me almost look like I want to have pink eye. But it's not pink like pink eye, but it's just like this muddy kind of brown. Thank you, Jamie. And I forgot I had makeup on, and I was touching my face and like rubbing my eyes, and well, not rubbing my eyes, but like my tear duct area because I was sweating. Earlier today I did cry, and so I was dabbing, trying to get that. Hey Grace, this is Impromptu Live, and so I'm excited that like people are popping in because I just popped up too. And so sometimes I like this one and sometimes I don't, because on my inner rims it does show up, and this is the color, and so it can make me look like a little sick. And so I'm trying to decide. Pink eye is not a good look. And it doesn't quite look like pink eye, but it looks like something that's maybe not quite right. And I can tell my tastes are changing because I used to love this and use it all the time. But the last few, this is all that's left. This is like half. And so half the time I use it now, I'm kind of like, And so maybe I'll just put it underneath and not on my inner rims. Lately, I've been loving glider dye, which is like a smoke gray. And I also have a black, or one that looks kind of black for my inner rims. And so I might just use this for lower lash line because lately I just haven't been liking how it looked on my inner rims, which I used to love it before. So I know something with me is changing. I only took 1 mascara, so I did definitely use that. I took my 1 eye primer. I finally opened up a new one. And so we did use that. I did use Scandinavia, the makeup finishing spray. I did use that, and the travel size is really handy because the full size is 8 ounces. And so trying to pack this takes up a lot of space, and so And even once this finishes, I'll put some of this in here and still just travel with this one. And the empty one I had of this, I put in the makeup remover spray from Scandinavia, and that's hella handy too. I took a backup of my Fenty brow pencil because I didn't know if I was going to finish it. This is what's left, the little piece of nub. So I maybe have one more use out of this. So I took the backup one, like, just in case, and I didn't need it, but I didn't want to not have a backup one and my brows be looking jacked up, which they do look jacked up anyway, right? So for, oh, and I remember telling y'all it's going to be Tillamook for a while. So I want to say too, because some of the looks, because I did a look each day, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Excuse me, some of the looks won't be posted until like July, the end of June or July. And I try to remember to say the date in the video so that it's not disorienting. Like, wait a minute, why is she talking about Tillamook and her brother's mom dying in the academy, and that was in June? And so I do try to remember to say the date, but I remember saying it was going to be Tillamook for a while. This is a comfort lip balm for me. It was gifted to me by a dear friend, and so it just makes me feel comforted. And I did take the book that other friend sent me that I showed y'all in another video. And that stayed, when I was driving, it stayed on my front passenger seat. And when I went into where, you know, the classes were, I had it under my binder. Like, that book was with me the entire time. And it was a source of comfort because I know emotionally and mentally I'm not alone. But having the book and just something to touch, it was a physical reminder that I wasn't alone. And so I do hope that makes sense. And so I took it, and it was comforting, the same as the Tillamook. I took this, just cotton ball. It says cotton buds. I call them Q-tips. And so when I go to read it, I'm always like, what? And I do just refill this. I've had this container probably like 10 years. So when I run low, I just refill it with a large one from in the bathroom. I took one primer, Pat McGrath. I have this one today. I did this look earlier today. And the Pat McGrath foundation, I wear shade M18. What I realized was the first couple days and lately, I have been using the Estee Lauder concealer just under my nose area. And it's called Double Wear Stay in Place Flawless Wear Concealer. But if you can see, my skin is textured because it's broken, because of the redness under my nose. I have been using the cream twice a day. The redness... Hey Alicia, the redness has gone down a lot. There's just a little bit of redness here. And I didn't put this on today because I realized, because the Pat foundation is so sheer and this is full coverage, sometimes it just starts to look a little more textured than it is. And so this is just my bare skin with the Pat foundation and the Pat primer. And so you see, let me get close. So you can see clearly here, like all of the texture that's here. And even here. And so I'm going to still use the cream for the redness twice a day. And then I also have another cream to see if it'll clear up the skin. And 2 nights ago, and also when you go away places, well, for me, I can tell when the water is different. Because when I was home, it was not this textured. And also, my second night there, this was raw. Like, my skin was raw. And even just washing my face, under here was burning and my skin was flaking. Like, all along here, it was flaking. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, it didn't do that at home. But the water was different. I was somewhere down in Maryland. And so I'm going to put the other cream on because this is not usually textured like that. And the water burning my face, like, this was completely raw right here. And aside from that, another thing which has nothing to do with water, I noticed I have hair right here. I looked in the mirror and I'm like, I got a beard. So I do shave my mustache area across here. And there's always like a patch right here, so I'll shave this. But now I'm going to have to start shaving down here. I was like, I got fucking hair on my chin. And so I won't be using this for a while. Because then I thought too, once I put on the setting powder, and even though bronzer and, you know, blush is here, and then I put on, you know, the finishing powder and all of that, it does camouflage a little bit. And I didn't like how it was looking really cakey and very textured. And it didn't used to look like that. So I won't be using this for a little while because I want to just get this texture cleared up. The only setting powder I use, Fashion Fair Set It Loose, Truly Tawny. Um, I did take both House Labs finishing powders. I only used Radiant Light. I did not use Eternal Light. This makes me toasty. This makes me toasty like House Labs Chocolate Opal. But the House Labs one, I want to say it's a little more shiny because it is a highlighter where this is a finishing powder. But they both, using them both lightly, they kind of have the same effect. I took 2 blushes. The Sigma blush that Grace has sent me, which I absolutely adore. And I took the MAC blush because I was really thinking I'm ready to let this go. All of my blushes are different. But this is just kind of close to, because I swatched it next to, let me see if I can find it real quick. I swatched it next to one of the newer House Labs one. And it kind of looks similar. So I'm wondering if it was French Rosette. I'm not sure. But then it doesn't look like it in the pan. A chocolate opal is nice, Alicia. But when I swatched it, it kind of didn't look... No, it definitely wasn't this one. This is Fire Moon. But it wasn't far off when I swatched it. And so I was like, do I want to keep them both? And y'all know if I pick one, I'm going to keep House Labs. And so I took this and kept using it. But then I'm like, this is so freaking pretty though. And so I was just like, I'm going to still hang on to it for a little bit. And we did take one highlighter. We took MAC Skin Finish, and it is Double Gleam Extra Dimension. I found it at Marshall's for like $8 or something. At least they keep it. When I put it on, I'm like, this is so freaking pretty. And so that's that. Grace, girl, I bought another Sigma bronzer. I think I might have told you. And that's what I have on today. It was a learning curve. So I got Deep. The one that Grace has sent me is dark. This is dark. And I cannot mess up on it. And so I'm like, let me get one a little bit deeper. This is Deep. But I always forget, is Deep darker than dark, or is dark darker than Deep? And so I picked this up by mistake because it looks exactly the same. I tried to tell myself it was a slight difference in the packaging, but really they're the same. I'm trying to get the glares off. And so I put this on, and it was just like, I was like, oh my gosh. And so my roommate, I'm trying to blend it. I'm like, how does this look? Does it look too much? She was like, yeah. So I'm blending and blending, went back, how does it look? She's like, oh, that looks really good. And so you never truly declutter. So in other words, I should not keep it because you would keep it, which means I shouldn't because I do actually declutter. And so I had put this on first, like just here and around the perimeter of my face. And then I took the one Grace sent me, which is dark, and just kind of put that here. You're a hoarder. I'm not keeping it. I ain't listening to you. Let me put I'm putting it over here. And so today I did this one like I normally do, here in the perimeter of my face, and lightly I took this one and put right here. So this depth that you see, you think definitely keep it. Well, you just said you were a hoarder, Alicia. And so that's the depth, the darkness you see right here. That's this, and I did put a little here. So this toastiness you see, that's this one. Heather, no, not you too. Oh my gosh. But I really do like these. And I see me keep it all. And y'all know, hey Sylvia, one of my official troll fam, and Grace as well. I said in the videos that I used it in that I foresee me using both of these with each other the same way I use both of my House Labs bronzers together, because it does give like a similar effect where you have something that blends in almost into your skin tone, but it's just a little bit of something, and then take one a little bit deeper in here and around the perimeter. And I am really liking this. And what I underestimated was how well this blended out. This was dark, and this is the shade Deep. Let me hold it up next to the other one because it doesn't look dark where you are. But this was hella dark, and I was like, oh shit, like, am I going to have to take my finishing powder, well, my setting powder, and put on it? But I didn't. I kept blending and blending, and this blended out perfect. And I was just like, whoa. So I see why Heather and Grace, y'all love Sigma. So I did use both of these, and I took them both to get a grip on how to use the darkest one. And so since I always don't remember is Deep darker than dark, or dark deeper, whichever, and I do have dark here and deep here, I'm going to put, I got to look at them, see, because I just really don't know. So for deep, I'm also going to add to the label, this is the darkest one, because I'll forget and put this on and have to go through blending like I did before. So I'm gonna leave that out because that'll remind me to put that additional label, because I'm a label whore. Thank you, Heather. I was just like, what? And I have on the Sigma blush and the MAC highlighter. So that's this cheek situation. I know, right? Oh, my man. And look at this glow from the highlighter. Oh, I just love it. And we took 3 potted gel liners for upper lash line. And we did use I took 4. Girl. Max Paint Pot in Black Mirror, which is black. We did use that, surprisingly. And we used Midnight Snack from MAC. This is a fluid line. And I took 2 from Inglot. This one is number 75, which is a matte purple. To me, it's like an eggplant. I'm horrible at describing colors. If y'all are enjoying this, thumbs up for me, please. And if you're the replay gang, go ahead and thumbs up. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here when you can be here. And we took number 87, this shade. And this is what we have on today. Right? And so that was everything in this one. Y'all, it holds a lot. Y'all saw before I opened it, it was full with the microfiber cloth on top. This sucker right here holds a lot. So now we're going to get into the brush book. You do that upon her. Thank you. I appreciate it. And sometimes I'll see a thumbs up and nobody's here, and then they'll come in and we'll come back, and then they'll say something like they switched from the phone to the tablet or something, because I'll be like, there's thumbs up and nobody's like in here, because we can see how many people are here. So we're opening it up. Yo, it's a mess in here because I didn't wash the brushes on the 13th when I left, because I did my face and I needed to be out the door. So those are sitting in the kitchen, and I wanted to just be late and at least wash my makeup, well, my foundation brush, the brush for eye primer and eyeliner, because I didn't want the liquid sitting in there. But I'm like, I need to be out the door because I need to get to Jersey. And so today I didn't wash brushes either. So this is makeup over here. These are all brushes over here. And I'm going to show you what we used. So these are the eyeshadow brushes I used today. And they're wrapped in a tissue because they're dirty. And I didn't want to contaminate the clean brushes. So we used, for this look, we used 3 of the Esum V27s. Excuse me for that glare. So I'm going to have a lot of brushes to watch. A Scott Barnes. Thank you, Grace, she messaged me that the Scott Barnes website was back up. And I do want to talk about that, but let me know, Grace and Sylvia, if you want me to talk about my feelings about that here while we're in this live, or just do a separate video. But this is the number 62, and y'all know I'm a brush whore. So yeah, I got some more of his brushes, because I found a 30% off code. And his other brushes I purchased all of them with a 30% off code. And this is a LaRouche brush that we use for shadow on our lower lash line. So, oh shoot, that thing is in there. Where can I put these and not make a mess? Right there. What is this? This is the Makeup Forever brush that, and I'm over here like you can see it, that lives in this case. But it's not in the case because it's dirty. And the only thing, you're curious now, I'll go ahead and talk about it. Because I don't even know if it's worth a video, but then I was thinking if I just do a video of Scott Barnes something, you know, it might get more people might want to see it. And so I use this side for blush, and this is the side I use for highlighter, believe it or not. I tap it in, and then I just do one of these. Because I have a big face, it fits, instead of using a smaller brush and just doing this. So this goes... Denise, how you doing? I'm showing what I used from what I took, because I did a video of what I was packing to take. So this is just me being accountable and being like, okay, I used this, didn't use that type of thing. And so this side I use for a highlighter, and this side I did just use for blush. And so the only reason I don't like double-sided brushes is because I like to just store my brushes, and this one you have to lay it flat, and I'm like, I don't want to be taking up space. But anyway, so that lives in this case, and it actually came with the case, which was really cool. And it has, you hear that? It's magnetic. Yeah, and I've had this probably almost 20 years, like for real. And so we also have, I don't even remember what is in this one. Oh, these are the brushes that I use for my liquid products. I did every day wash the brush I use for foundation and primer, the brush I use for eyeshadow primer, and the brush I use for upper lash line. I did wash those every day. I forgot to take my palette to put on my face primer and foundation, and so I was having to squeeze the primer on the brush, put that on, and then go back. How is it less to wash? Because it's still two. You still gotta wash both sides of the brush, which is two brushes. Even it just looks like it's just one that you hold. This is still two brushes, one, two. Like, what do you mean? And it might be an illusion where it's like this is one brush because it's one thing to hold, but it's still. Okay, Grace. And so then I was putting the foundation on and then doing that. But I really love this brush. And I do have two of these, but I'll show you the other ones. And so these I did use and they will be washed today. And this one here, these are the brushes I use for face. And I did not wash this every day because this was just blush and it was either the Sigma one or the MAC one I was using. And I only took one highlighter. And so I didn't bother washing the powder product brushes for face because I'm okay, because I don't feel like it's going to be contaminated. Like I would never like reuse a foundation brush that I hadn't washed because to me I'm like that stuff has been sitting in there and I'm just like ugh. Hey Emily. And so there's a piece like sticking out. Okay, then it just came out. I know you can't see it. And so this one, and so what I did was on top of my finishing powder, this is the brush I use for my finishing powder. And so I would just lay this on there so the next day I would know this is the brush that I use for that. So we did use this one. And these are Sephora brushes, Sephora travel brushes, back when they had the silver ferrules. Oh my gosh, I love these friggin' brushes. And so this is what I would use for setting powder all over. This one, I actually have two of these. One I used for bronzer, for both the bronzers. And the other one, this one I use for bronzers, I can tell because it's darker than this one. This one I use for radiant light. And again, you know, when I would use radiant light, I would just leave this brush on top of it like for the next day so I wouldn't forget like which was which. Because y'all, I am so sleep deprived. I'm like, I'm not going to remember what's what. And so, but these are going to get washed today. And, oh gosh, I dropped the brush and I don't want it to stain I'm wearing white leggings. So this is what it looks like right now. So that was all the brushes from over here. And this is the Makeup Forever brush that brush lives in. These are Real Techniques brushes. These live in here. They stay in here always, except this one, because sometimes I use this one to blend out eyeshadow primer if my other brushes I use for eyeshadow primers are still wet. This one, this is another one of those, the ones I use for foundation and face primer. And I think it's really a powder brush. Well, it says Pro Mini Foundation Brush. And what's ironic is that I do have, I think it's dirty. No. This is an Ulta one. So you see it's, let me put this down. So you see it's the same shape. This one actually does say foundation. This says foundation. This is Ulta. This is Sephora. This is Sigma Precision Powder Brush. Dion, you have a Scott brush. His website is back up, Denise. And I purchased more brushes that I'll talk about in June because that'll be for my June update. But I found a 30% off code. And even my brushes I already had from him, I purchased all of them for 30% off. But yeah, just Google Scott Barnes discount code. And there, and a website came up and there were like 7 different codes. Like one was said 50% off. But when you clicked it, it said Liberty 30, which meant 30% off. There's another one that said 25% off. When you clicked it, it said Hello Scott 30. So if you're a new customer or first time purchaser from that website account, because you can like finagle the system and just use a different email address. But all of them said something 30. And so this says it's a powder brush. I love this for foundation. And so it's ironic to me that these are all shaped the same. But these two say foundation. This one says powder. I didn't like this for powder under my eyes because it pressed in too much powder and it was making my under eye look cakey, and I didn't like that. But for foundation, yeah. So I just find that interesting that that's for powder and these are for foundation. So I'm going to put this one back home. So even though I had two of these, I was just like, I'll just wash it every day because it's not super thin, but it dries. It dries pretty quick. So this we didn't use, Scott Barnes. I'm going to put that home. Thank you for being here with me to unpack and put away stuff we didn't use. This Esum one we didn't use. If you just got here, don't forget the thumbs up for me. This is the LaRouche, the second one I have that I use for lower lash line. We did not use that one. And we have 1, 2, 3 Fenty brushes. And I don't like that they stain. And I'm trying to find a duplicate brush to replace these with. I like the length of it. I like how wide they are, and I like that the length of it, because if it's a very saturated eyeshadow, these don't pick up too much. Where if I use the Hourglass, because it's shorter, more dense, this picks up and puts down a lot, where this will still put down and it's saturated, but it's not a lot. And so that's why I like this one. But I have been trying to use the Hourglass number 3s more, because as much as I love this and nobody sees these but me, I just hate seeing that they're stained. I'm like, that looks disgusting. And nobody sees them but me. But I'm not throwing them away because I do like how they work. I've had these for years and years. There's no shedding or anything. I just don't like that they stain. So that was all the brushes. These are clean. These live in here when I wash the ones I use for powder. These 3, and when I wash this one, and this one I use for foundation and face primer, and this will go back home in its case back here, and the other ones will go back here in the case over here. Y'all, if y'all see this on sale, this does not hold a lot of makeup on this side. But if you see the whole kit on sale, like when I said I got mine for like 50% off or something, and the brush book was free, y'all, this comes in handy, because you saw how much stuff I pulled out of here. And so I'm gonna show you what palettes I took. What did I use? I think I used Sparkle Storm on the 13th, and this is from MAC. And I didn't need to take it with me, but I did, because I love this. So don't get me wrong, but I was trying to think of, do I want to keep it? Because I can do looks like this, excuse me, with other stuff. And the look I did that day, it was something I could have did with the Golden palette. And I have other, with some of the Lethal Cosmetics, BYOPs. But then this I was like, this is a unique shade. But then as I kept looking at it, I'm like, is it really? Is this really a unique shade? It's pretty as hell. And so in that video, you'll see a comparison. I took this with me. These are the Star Palette shadows that I will most likely put in the Golden palette. And so I was looking at this shade right here. So let me pop this out. I don't know if that video aired or not. Y'all can let me know if you've seen it. But I did a comparison between this gold and this one. And you have some Scott Barnes palettes that I either need to use or off. Heather, when I first heard about him, and I first heard about him from Fabulous 50osity, this was way back, and I still do have the Scott Barnes playlist. But I ended up decluttering everything except the brushes, because once I started using other stuff, I'm like, the formula of his eyeshadows just really wasn't it for me. And one of them was a neutral palette, and y'all know, well, says me holding a neutral palette, y'all know I prefer stuff like this. And I did like his blush palette, but some of the, I wasn't using all of the tones. And 2 of the highlighters, like, it was something for everyone. And I do think it was more so geared towards professional makeup artists. But for me, it's like, I was not utilizing the entire thing. And I don't like to waste half of anything. So, yeah, all of it sold on Mercari, though. So I compared these 2 shades. And they look similar. At certain angles, when I swatched them on the back of my hand, they look the same. And then other angles, I believe this one was a little more gold, this one was a little more green, or vice versa. And so I'm like, if some angles it looks exactly the same, I can get rid of this, because I can do the looks with this, with the Golden palette. But this is really wonderful. So if you're on Mercari, my Mercari link should be down below. So there will be some stuff in there. And so we did not use this. I took it just for comparison purposes, because I really wanted to see how unique that shade was, and it's really not. We also use Whatever Day. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I mentioned it before that for some of the giveaway palettes, when I do the look, that would be the giveaway announcement video. Well, I should say subscriber announcement video. Yeah, but all of you that are here now are already subscribed, and that's the main thing. I usually don't title my giveaway videos giveaway because people will subscribe. If they don't win, sometimes they'll leave. And I want people to be here because they want to be here. I was able to sell Mercari, but the others didn't sell. Which one were you able to sell? So these are what these two look like. And I paired them just like I paired them last time. And I looked at the picture I did last time just to make sure I wasn't recreating the same look, and it was not the same look. And so I really like the formula of these. Like, people were like, it's trash, and I'm just like, what? And so I think it may have just been a preference because the shimmers are very creamy and the mattes are creamy as well. And I like Natasha's cream to matte, cream to powder formula, so I'm like, I love this. And the texture of some of these shades are the same as some of Pat's Quints, like Bordeaux, her Bijou Brilliance collection. So for me, it's like the same type of formula, but some people still were like, it's trash. But I really like these. I really do. So much so that when they were on sale, hey, Lock, so much so that when they were on sale for like $25, I bought two more specifically, like, to give away because I really like this. I really like these. And so that's going to go home. So thank you for helping me unpack. This is what we have on today. It was a holiday edition. I probably should have kept that one, but it sold very quickly. Stop. I don't know if I should say. I put my Haunted Europe in there, and it was the second time I had Haunted Europe. It sold in less than a day. And I charged it reasonable because I'm just like, you know. But, and the issue was, just like with the one I had before, all the shimmers creased on me. And I'm just like, but anyway. Hey, Eileen, no problem. This was impromptu. Like, I didn't schedule it. I came home and, you know, did some things. Laundry's going, I unpacked. And I'm like, let me just show y'all what I used that I took. So this is what's on my lids today. This is not original to the palette. This is not original. This is not original. They're from Retro Glam. But this is this look. So what we did today, we have this on our inner corner. The inner portion of the lid. Am I looking at this right? And then we have this on the center, excuse me for the glare. This is on the center of the lid. And we used, I want to say Night Sky, but where is it? This is Night Sky. This is on the outer corner. And then I said Flurry, but this is Jazzy from Retro Glam. That's up here, above the lid shades, transition area-ish. And we use Snert, this shade, under my brow bone and lower lash line. So this is what's on my face today. And we use that teal-ish color eyeliner from Inglot, upper lash line. The only other palette that I took 3 palettes because we had looks for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so the other day we used Nomad's Iceland Fire and Ice palette. I love this palette, y'all. I really do. This look and the one with Xenon, it's in the same video. And because I didn't want my roommate to feel uncomfortable, you know, walking back and forth. And so I told her I just won't talk a lot because that'll remind me to edit when I'm not saying anything. And so that video, 2 looks, is maybe like 20 minutes. And y'all know one look be taking me like 50. So, so I was just like, we're going to put this here, bloop, and edit that out. Put this here. So, yeah, that was quick. But that video, y'all will want to see. And I'm going to just leave that there. So that's everything we took. That's everything that we actually used. Make sure y'all are thumbsing up for me. I'm going to wash the brushes that needs to be washed. Put these back home. And then put this back in the Pro Kit. This is ready just to go back in there. And I use the Pro Kit for like backups of stuff. So that way it's just not stuff laying around. And, you know, the case, which is over there. I do have an Esum playlist if y'all want to see like all the features, because when I first got it, I did a video. So it's been years, y'all, and it's holding up. There's no sign of wear and tear at all. You still have your Haunted Europe. I refuse to give her up, and I'm sure she's going to be pretty penny. You know what? I don't think so, because I don't think it's going to sell for a pretty penny, because Nomad is releasing Haunted Europe again along with Ghost Town this fall. And so if you want to sell it, this is the time to sell it because they may not know, whoever's looking at it on Mercari may not know that it's coming back in a few months. But I think I had put like 30 something dollars or whatever, and it sold in one day. They didn't even negotiate. They just was like, they just bought it. Um, and some people will say, will you accept? Or they'll send an offer. They just flat out purchased it. But yeah, so if you wait, I mean, if you keep it another couple years, I'll say at least like maybe this time next year, after it's not new, after the fall season is over, and after it's no longer in stock, that's when I think it would sell for a pretty penny. But right now, I don't think so because unless they don't know that Nomad is going to release it in a few months. And so I kept that in mind too. Like I wasn't going to charge what I paid for it because I'm like, they can just get it new for that price. You know what I mean? And so I'm just checking comments. So what I'm gonna talk about Scott Barnes. What I was thinking of getting rid of, Denise. I saw your comment earlier. Yeah, it was like 30. Yeah, and it's so quick. It was like in less than a day. And I'm nocturnal, so I'm up. I might not go to sleep till 11 o'clock in the morning, and I'm up like all night, early morning, all of that. And so I posted it, and I wake up every 90 minutes or so, and I will just check the phone, check the time, and I had an email like, "Oh, you made a purchase," and I'm like, "I just posted that." Like, wait, what? But what I was thinking of getting rid of, Denise, is this came free with purchase. This is Max Blush, and this is called Blush Baby because it's a little bit similar to one of my House Labs blushes. And y'all know I don't like dupes in my collection. Says me with now 2 black lipsticks again and other stuff. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that. So I took it with me and used it, and it's very pretty, very easy to use. And so I'm torn. And I did that before where I said I'm going to intentionally use it, and I ended up keeping it. And so I think I'm not ready to let it go yet, even though like deep down I'm like, I could let it go and not miss it because of the other blushes that I have. So my thoughts about the Scott Barnes website. Okay, here, and I know a lot of people may not know. Scott Barnes, if you watch his videos, from maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, because he did disappear for a while. He had the 30% off sale for months and months and months, and stuff sold out. And what didn't, then he did a 50% off sale. So he was really just trying to get rid of stock. And he was saying how, we're going to come back and everything's going to be fresh and new. You're going to love it. It's going to be the best thing ever. But that's all the things that he said about stuff he had before. So I'm like, dude, like you're just saying this, like the same stuff. And so that had me kind of like, you said all this about your other palettes and your other eyeshadow palettes and blush palettes and stuff. So if that was the best thing ever, now you're saying the new stuff is the best thing ever. So for me, I listen to what people say, and I'm like, you said all that before. And so everything sold out, and the stuff that didn't, it just disappeared. The website, there was nothing on there. It said something like coming soon. And this was a few years ago, because I think I did buy like some more brushes from him when they were having a 30% off. So I did. And then I was pissed off when after like 2 months of the 30% off sale, then they did a 50% off sale. And I'm like, why are you playing with my money and my emotions? But I knew they were just trying to unload. But anyway, so this was probably like maybe 2, 3 years ago, maybe. I do have a Scott Barnes playlist if you want to just see what the timeline was. And so he was like, we're coming back with new stuff and blah, 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 blah. So it was nothing on the website at all. And I guess it was last week. Grace had sent me a message. She was like, did you see Scott Barnes' website is up again? And I'm like, oh, what? Wait, huh? And so, so I go over to my little laptop because I like to see stuff on a bigger screen than my phone. And yes, his website is back up. The brushes, the same exact brushes. They're for sale again. And it looks like they're the same price that they were. Again, if you want to buy his brushes, just Google Scott Barnes 30% off discount codes. And every code showed up. Right. And, well, I didn't mean to poke you in the eye with my brush, Heather. I got his during, all of his stuff I got during sales because he was just always having sales. The brushes look to be the same price. And so I did purchase more using a 30% off code. But I'm just like, what? I'm like, dude, like there's nothing new. It's all the same brushes. He had a vault. It's called Voyeur or Voyage something or other. Denise, the brushes is the bomb. The The one I didn't care for too much, I had two of them because y'all know when I like a brush, I get another one. My first purchase of the brushes, I got the whole 10-piece set. And then the ones I liked, I purchased the second one just individually. So I had two of one that I didn't really care for. They did the job, but it just didn't really suit me. Both of them sold on Mercari. I put them up maybe like a month and a half ago. Both of them sold. And somebody asked me if I was going to sell. They said if I had a number 65 brush. And I said I do, but I only have one, so I'm not selling it. Y'all, I love this brush. I am going to do a brush video, my favorite brushes. And maybe I'll just do one for Scott Barnes brushes. Really? What state do you live in, Alicia? I have never seen any Scott Barnes in TJ Maxx or Marshalls. And I'm closer to Marshalls. The TJ Maxx near me is trash. So I told her I would let her know if I saw one for sale somewhere. So when I saw that this was back on his site, I went back on Mercari to message her. But after so many weeks go by, it'll just say whatever is deleted. So I can't even contact her again because I was going to tell her these are for sale again. But his brushes are expensive. They're $40, $50 or more. And so that's why I say, you know, use the discount code. But I'm telling you, his brushes I have, they don't shed, they maintain their shape, they do what they say they're going to do. I just love the brushes. So all the brushes are there, the same exact brushes. But years ago he was like, brand new stuff, you're going to love it, it's the best thing ever. The same exact friggin' brushes. And it's a vault of like 4 different palettes. One is from like what's supposed to be, because he does world travel, professional makeup and all of that, runway and all that stuff. So there was one from, I'm just making this up, France, Australia. So it was like at least 4 different palettes representing different continents, different countries. And it comes in a vault, so it's like a set. That's the same exact set he had out before. And I'm like, dude, where's all this new innovative stuff? You saw them in the Miami palette, not the brushes. Oh, okay. And I'm like, dude, this was the same stuff you had on your website before. So where's all this new innovative stuff when it's the same stuff? And the prices are still the same. Because sometimes when brands revamp, like the price goes up. But it's like the same prices, the same exact stuff. And looking at the palettes in the vault, I don't think they're geared towards people of color. Because they're lighter tones, and some of them, even in the pans, look dusty. And I'm just like, it's the same exact stuff. And then he has out the contour cheek palette. I had that. It's the same exact damn thing. And I'm like, Scott, what'd you say years ago? And that's what I'm saying. And it's because I know. If people don't know, they'll be like, oh, Scott Barnes came out with new stuff. No. It's the same. Yeah, he thought we forgot, Denise. When I looked at the website, I'm like, that's from like, the 2 eyeshadow palettes, one was real colorful and one was neutral. Those are not on the website. But that vault thing, and I'm wondering if even when he had that 30% off sale for like 2 or 3 months, because I kept saying, how long is this sale going to be? It was months. And then he did 50% off. I'm thinking it didn't sell out, which means how old is that fucking vault? How old is that? Because this was years ago. So I'm just like, dude, I'm not knocking the brushes. The brushes are amazing. But it's the same cheek and blush palette. The same vault of like the 4 different palettes. And I'm like, dude, like, you could have just kept the website up and just had more brushes made. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thought about that. It's just like, where's these new innovative products? I did not see the mascara on there. I did not see, I think I may have saw lip products, but I'm not sure. And y'all know I'm just cool with MAC's black lipstick. And Julia's Place came out with a black lipstick. And so I wasn't, ever really checking for his stuff. And even before, his... that shit is old as dirt. Heather, I was looking at that website like, what the fuck? Like, this is the same shit. God said if it's not broke, there's no need him trying to fix it. And that's why I was saying, Alicia, he should have just kept the website up before. If you want to just put out the same exact stuff. But he was all like, oh, you're going to love it. No, it's the same stuff. It sounded like you was just talking out your own ear. So that's my thoughts on that. And I was thinking to do a separate video, but I'm saying it here. And I'll put it somewhere in the title when I retitle the live. But I was just like, you Yeah, he really thought we forgot. But his lip liners, they were, I don't think they were for people of color. They were just like pinky nudish, mauvey type tones, unless you like that type of look. But I'm just like, dude, and I do get it. When you do professional makeup, depending on who your primary clientele is, that's who your products are going to be geared towards. Just like Wangas. But so, and they can do different. Danessa has stuff for everybody. Natasha, even though some people knock it, there's something for everybody. But like with Scott, there's not something for everybody. With Wayne, there's not something for everybody. And I don't have anything from Lisa Eldridge, but I see people of all skin tones and complexions wearing her stuff. So that says something too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, dude, like you. So that's my rant about Scott. That'll be it for this live stream. Thank you again for being here. Thank you for the thumbs up. So don't forget to do that if you haven't done that. Yeah, he is known for, yes, Locke, you're right. He was known for being J-Lo's makeup artist. And you see her makeup is there, not there. So that's what his palettes and blush stuff looks like. Just let me see. Oh, Scott is trash. What? Okay, wait a minute. Excuse me. I'm so rude. I'm trying to find your comment where you were. Yeah, oh. Makeup by Mario. Fabulous 50 and I'm sure I mentioned this in the video. She did do my face that day. That video will air in a couple weeks, I think. We have heated discussions about makeup because y'all know I like to experiment. I like the bold stuff. I like a black lip, and she's very, very conservative. So we're at complete opposites. And so I was talking about like, because she'll be like, well, Paint by Spencer says this, and Wayne Guy says this, and this person says that. And I'm like, but what about what the client wants? My go-to is Hung Vanngo. If the model doesn't wear a lot of makeup, he does minimal makeup. He does natural there, not there makeup. If he has a model that likes a smoky eye, he's going to do a smoky eye. If he has a model who likes a red lip, I do appreciate that, Locke. Thank you. He'll do a popping red lip. So he does what the client wants. You know what I'm saying? Where other ones, they have their niche. That's what they do. But what Fabulous 50 said to me, and it made sense. She said, if you want to look like Kim K, you know where to go. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. If you want to look like so-and-so, you know where to go. Not that we're going to those people. But she was saying, if you want a certain look and you look at somebody's portfolio, that's going to dictate where you go to because they do the types of looks that you want. And that's what makes me appreciate Hung Vanngo even more. Yes, Locke. That's what makes me appreciate Hung Vanngo more because he's not in a box. Whatever the client wants, that's what he does. And it always looks friggin' awesome. And so I'm like, okay, you can be a professional makeup artist, but if you can only really do one type of look good, how good are you? Like, where's your creativity? And when people say perfect bridal look, I know people who are goth. I know people who are, into rave stuff. So if you say perfect bridal makeup, they want black eyeliner, they want black gray eyeshadow. So it's like, what is perfect bridal makeup? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but then this is the troll nation, so y'all know how we do. We're going to do what we like and what we want to do. Yeah, Hung is cool. His accent still be tripping me up sometimes, though, in his lisp. But I love what he does because he does what the client wants to do. Yes, the artistry in general, yeah. And picking what suits your preference. And I like how he explains the model likes this, and so this is why I'm using this, and then I'm going to do this and this. I just love, and I think I do watch like every video. When I see he has a new one, I do watch. I might fall asleep and rewatch it later. But yes, Heather, that's a true artist. Being able to create different looks is a gift. And so when she was talking about the other artists, I'm just like, they do the same thing. All of them do the same types of their looks. They may do a deeper lip, but I'm like, they all look the friggin' same. We're not clones. But so that's my thought on that, and Scott coming out with the same exact stuff. And also, Heather, someone the other day, I'm not gonna say no names, like seriously, I'm not. They were asking me for like recommendations, and I said he would be a good one to watch because even if you go to his YouTube page, if you scroll, he has all complexions. Some with textured skin, how I was saying, like around my nose area is looking real textured right now. He'll have some that has like hyperpigmentation. He has some that are deeper skin tones. He has some that are like porcelain, very fair skin tones. He has young models. He has some that are elderly, some with, you know, full head of gray hair. Like it's just from beginning to end, A to Z. He has it for everybody. And so if you just even like scroll, I'm just like, damn, like this is it right here. And so I do recommend like you go to look all this. That's okay though, because that's your mood. My mood is a black lip, even though I don't always wear a black lip though. But yeah, it's and his name is spelled Hung, Hung, and I'm perverted, so I'm always just like, oh my god. And his last name I think is Vango, I believe, Hung Vanngo. And so, but yeah, I just love him. And he's so soothing and he always starts with skincare. And I'm just like, he makes me want to get a facial because he's just really awesome. And so I'm just checking comments before we go. Yeah, do check him out. Yeah, so all the other people, you know, that people talk about, I'm like, oh, I'm not that neutral, they're not there type person. And everybody looks the same. So like, what am I going to? I only need to see 2 of your videos, and I've seen them all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yep. So Scott's website is up. I'm just going through the comments, and I don't think I'm missing any. I appreciate y'all for popping up because I was just like, I need to unpack. I want to let y'all know what I used from what I took, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it live, and whoever shows up shows up. If they see the replay, that's fine too. Um, Oh, Denise was asking if I have a Scott Barnes blush that I want. I don't have any makeup from him. The only thing I have left from Scott is his brushes, and that's only some of them. I don't have any of his makeup. I used it for a while, and I was really happy about it. But then as I used other stuff, I'm like, I don't prefer this quality. But it's a preference thing, because some people really did love his quality. You too lazy about washing brushes. I need to do better. I'm just skittish about even my own germs. So that's why I wash after every use. Except I left the foundation brush because I had to be out the door. And then this morning we had to be out the door because we had to check out. So I didn't have time to wash the liquid product brushes. But so thank you for being here to see out of what I took, what I actually used. And we used everything except 1 or 2 gel liners, and we did not use any of the 4 lip liners. And me showing you things I did put away as I was showing you, so thank you for helping me just get situated back home. And the new cheek situation, like I'm really digging it. So that will be it. Thank you so much, all of you, for popping in, because I really was like, nobody will be here, they'll just watch it later or whatever. So I was really surprised. Y'all my ride or dies, and I do appreciate it. And we are going to go. But remember what I was saying about the House Labs? I don't think I mentioned the Iceland in this one or the Xenon in this one, but it's stuff coming up. And so I'm excited. I am super excited about that. And so, yeah, we're going to go. That's going to be it. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love. I'm still just making sure I'm not missing comments. Self-acceptance and self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you so much for being here, helping me unpack, and hearing my little rant about Scott Barnes with that. Y'all, that stuff is the same exact stuff. I'm like, dude, so you was just really talking out the side of your neck. But I'm not going to get back into that because we did that already. So we're going to go, and thank you, and you will see me regular time tomorrow morning for a video. No. Tomorrow is a live. What am I talking about tomorrow? I think tomorrow's live is my May beauty budget update. So I'm going to be showing y'all stuff, running the numbers. Yeah, so that's going to be tomorrow night's live. So no video tomorrow morning. We'll do the live tomorrow night. And yeah, so y'all can help me continue to hold myself accountable for what I'm spending. But I can say I am doing good just using my beauty budget account. I am doing good with that, like for real. So yeah, but I still been shopping. I have been emotionally shopping over the last few days, which is not good, but I'm still just using my beauty budget. I haven't veered out and took money from other places. So, but anyway, so yeah, we're gonna go. So you'll see me tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So thank you. We are really gonna go, and I'm gonna go ahead and push the button. So thanks again, y'all. Bye. Don't want to poke anybody in the eye.